Hello.
Hello.
You know, you've done such extraordinary things that I think the fans love, and the relationships that come off the screen. When you approach a new show, where do you go to turn to find those characters?
I think one. It's hard for me to answer this without sounding like a crazy person, but this is the truth. I think if you are a natural born writer, it's something that you've done since you were a kid, whether it's professional or not, you have the voices in your head all the time.
Right.
That's basically it's what makes you write is you hear a voice. And it's funny, I used to be woken up from my sleep and it would be one sentence. It would just be hearing a sense of dialogue. I'm like, what is that? And somebody's talking, and you write it down, and ultimately it's an excavation of like, who is this person? Who are their people? What is the world? But to me, the characters are the easiest thing to find. And if I don't find them, I don't write it, because you have long days and nights ahead of you of trying to figure out plot and all the other things. And if you don't have the characters, there are people that you care about. It's really not going to be a worthwhile journey for anyone.
So then, in this case, in Killjoy's case, did the characters come first then? Yeah, they did.
Oh yeah, literally.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it was all being able to sort of see them in my head, and it's really kind of hilarious seeing how close they are once I see the actual actors. I'm like, yep, yeah, they're a treat.
So then, how much of that is like? How much were you involved with casting? Like, were you?
Oh, very.
Yeah.
Showrunners are very involved with it. We pick people to fight for or fight against, or it doesn't mean that we have the ultimate say.
Right.
But I think networks are very respectful. They understand that you ultimately have to work with these people, and so if you're like, that is not a good fit, unless they're crazy, they'll listen to you. But what was wonderful is it was pretty evident with all of the cast that we had that they were all, they were the characters, and we were lucky to have them.
And I have to admit, even just reading general things about the show, I cannot picture these characters without these people.
No.
It's amazing.
They're awesome. And that's the lovely thing that happens, is this great little alchemy between yourself, what was in your head, and ultimately you change some things as you write towards the actors, because I think if you're a writer that doesn't love actors, you probably are going to have a very hard job ahead of you.
Right.
Because it's kind of your work. They're your people. But when you do, every time you're around, you're just kind of absorbing little things about them and little anecdotes about their families, seeing whether they are naturally goofy or funny in real life. Are they dark people? You kind of mine slowly as you get to know them, these little bits.
And so then, how far in advance are you thinking when you're writing right now?
By the end of the season, not very advanced, because we usually get behind.
Right.
But at the beginning, at the beginning of the season, we have a development stage where we all get together and we decide, and really that's the most enjoyable part for me, is what is the journey the characters are going to go on. Right. So, we do figure out what are the larger mysteries and mythology, but that's only really useful or powerful if it somehow ties into helping, hurting, challenging, or changing a or many characters.
Right.
So that's the nexus that you're trying to figure out. It's not just what is going to happen in the show as a plot, but how is it going to change our people.
So can you give me a hint as to maybe a theme that we're going to see in the second season? Something that would maybe stand out as a way the show moves?
I would say that the second season is emotionally constructed in terms of Dutch and John figuring out what they fight for and trying to reconcile whether they do the same thing. If they're not, can they still have the same relationship?
Right. And, going back a little bit to when you talk about writing, was there a character came first?
Dutch. Dutch came first.
I can see that. I can totally see that. But
yeah, that she came pretty much exactly as she is. She was fully formed.
Amazing. Yeah. I can see that too, because it seems like you found. I mean, there's a harmony in your writing. I don't know how to describe it. I can see that how she performs. It feels like it's right part of the story.
Yeah, and she's
That's
a wonderful
not always the case in the show.
Yeah, no, it's true. She's I'm honestly really blessed with all of them. And what I find so hilarious about Hannah is if you get to know her, she is not Dutch. She is lovely and ugly and fun, and you just kind of want to go hang out in a bar with her and hear her stories from all the work that she does all over the world. And when she's Dutch, like when I saw the first bits of her where she's like, I am in charge, I'm like, I believe you. I believe you. You know what I mean? Like she's. I think sometimes those things are kind of underappreciated by people if they see somebody able to kind of at her age, exude a sense of calm, confident control, and power. I find that's very hard with actresses because they're often raised, this is the role that you have here, and your role here you need to be charming, and the role is ultimately about the man. You're playing off of him, and you want him to like you or not like you, and she's like, I don't give a shit. I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to kick your ass, and we're going to go to war. And you're like, that is a hard thing to pull off. I could not pull that off, and I think that she really does.
That first scene in the first episode really speaks to all of that.
It does.
Every single thing.
Yeah, and what I love so much about that scene, too, as well, is John.
Right.
Like, you can just, John is so like, oh, you're crazy, and I'm in it. You know, like, he's there with her and for her. And
he's very supportive.
Yeah, and I think it's great.
Which is not, I mean, that scene is totally at odds with most scenes that you'd expect for any show like this.
Absolutely, yeah. That's kind of why it was constructed that way. I had one kick at the cat to say this is the show. And this show is, yes, that is a particular convention and trope, and I'm actually going to, flip it because it's fun. And it's not even for anything other than the fact that I think I get bored, as I'm sure a lot of people do, with the same hero and the same hero's journey. And, science fiction is about tropes. I love them. But you have to, tweak them and change them and have a little fun.
That's awesome. Well, the last thing I have to turn to, I guess, is how much has it changed once you're actually living it, doing the show?
Like the show itself?
Yeah, especially with the look at the second season now. Is there stuff that has changed that maybe was unexpected from how you first planned it?
I think that there was an appetite to go more towards the mythology from fans and from networks. I think I probably would have been a bit more slow with that because I like the conventions also of, here's some bad guys, let's go pick up some bad guys.
Right.
That's a little less novel. So we've also interwoven with that increasing mythology, which I think is a good balance. But it's water. I thought there was literally someone behind me being like, give me a second.
The set is alive.
It is, but I'm a little worried it's by electricity. So maybe don't be sitting on the wire. So it's changed just in an organic sense, just that we have new writers, we've got new characters. I really like the idea of growing the family, so we've done that this season.
Right.
We've had more secondary characters, and I'd say every character arc is a bit of a tryout when you bring in some of the new ones. It's, do you guys gel? Do we want to see you again? And then there's certainly a lot of people we met this year that I would really love to see again if we're lucky enough to have a season 3.
Awesome. Well, I'll cross my fingers. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.